Hey guys, I want to talk to you guys about healing and the journey and how it can be so easy and fun. And this is something that I discovered in the past year, and it was a surprise to me. I was in the middle of my medical medium journey, and I was miserable, absolutely miserable. I was getting better. I was totally getting better. It was about 2.5 years into my journey, and I was just so miserable because I was, spending so many hours in the kitchen every day. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I know that there were a lot of people I talked to about this that could. And in fact, I was attracting clients who were also experiencing the same things. And I didn't know how to help them because I didn't know how to help myself. And, I was just, once you get to a certain point in your healing journey, you actually, start feeling better, and then you want to do things. You want to start living your life again. And I felt like kind of trapped by my medical medium protocols because I felt like I had to spend so much time in the kitchen all the time, and that it wasn't leaving me any time to live my life or run my business or any of those things. And I was miserable, and I was stressed out about it. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to support myself financially, and so much stuff was coming up with that. And so I looked for help, and I got some help from my mentor, Joy Kingsborough, and I've been on with her before. In fact, I just did a recent live with her, and I learned a lot of things, and I took several of her programs. Most recently, I finished Mind Shift, which was a huge 6-month program that was actually a universal laws certification course. But through my journeying with all of the different tools in Mind Shift, there was the Jonah live sessions, which were live channeling sessions that she did every couple of weeks with us. It was so powerful. And I started understanding that, my whole approach to my healing journey and my medical medium journey needed to lighten up a lot. And I needed to start understanding that I was one with my body, and that I wasn't separate from my body. And, Anthony talks a lot about, our body's not attacking itself, when we're diagnosed with autoimmune, which I have had 3 autoimmune diagnoses, fibromyalgia, MS, and RA. And, I really felt like I was separate from my body, even though I didn't look at it that way. I felt like, oh my God, I'm spending all this time on my healing, and it's my big focus. Like, all I do is do stuff for my body. How can I be separate from my body, like behaving like that? And I started to understand through this long journey and process that I really was still separate from my body, that I was viewing it as something that I had to do, and it became really cumbersome to me. And I started resenting it, resenting being sick and feeling like I had to do all these things to become healthy again. And, it took me really a long time through this journey to come to a place where I would learn that if I didn't drink my celery juice one morning, I wasn't going to spontaneously combust. And, if I missed my heavy metal detox smoothie a couple times a week, like, my health wasn't going to suddenly become a disaster. And, this is all really important because I think, when I first came to the protocols, I really felt like I had found the answer, and I still feel that way. I feel like it was a really important step for me, that, I needed that, and I needed that step-by-step instruction in the beginning, of here, do this, and you will get better. And it was huge for me at the time because, after going to so many specialists, the top specialists in the country for all of my different ailments, and not getting answers, it was really important for me to have that step-by-step and really follow it, because it gave me some sense of control over what I was going through, and it did help heal me. And so all of that was really important. But then I got to a point in my journey, and I know that other people have gotten to this point too, and I'm seeing from the comments too that some of you are experiencing this. And it was really important for me to go, okay, well, now I've achieved a certain level of healing, and although there may still be some symptoms going on and things like that, like, how can I find some balance in all of this? And that was really important for me to be able to do that, to really find a way to have some balance. But I really struggled with it. And, through understanding the universal laws, and, this would be like, I went through a 6-month program, so this is a long conversation that I can't do in one live, but, really understanding that health does not come from outside ourselves, which means it doesn't come from celery juice. It doesn't come from heavy metal detox smoothie. It doesn't come from certain supplements. Everything comes from within first. And then these outside resources that we can use to support are just that. They're an outside resource. So they're not necessary to survive or to heal the body completely. They are support things that we can use to help us, but they're not, you won't suddenly take a tailspin if you miss your celery juice one day. And when I started understanding this and playing around with it and really allowing some flexibility in my schedule, it just started changing everything for me. My business started shifting, my finances started shifting, my happiness level started shifting. I'm able to travel now if I want to, because I don't have to worry about how am I going to get my juice every morning, how am I going to make my smoothie and do all the things. I have more flexibility, and this is huge. So I am a numerologist too, and I do card readings as well, and I did pull some cards for everyone watching today because I felt like I wanted to tap in and see exactly what you guys really needed to hear. So the first card I pulled was surrender to the wisdom of your body. And, really understanding that your body will tell you when you need celery juice, or when you need your B12 or your zinc or your heavy metal detox smoothie, and you'll know when you need it. As you start playing around with it. In the beginning, I felt like, if I skipped my celery juice, I would be like, oh, I really noticed that I didn't have it, and it wasn't like anything horrible happened, but I just noticed the absence of it. And that made me think that, oh, that means I need it. But actually, once I kept playing around with it, I started understanding, oh, that's the programming in my mind that I needed to believe when I was really, really sick, like, I have to have this every single day. But once I started achieving a certain level of health and vitality, and was able to start letting go and start playing with that, I started to see, oh, this is the programming. This is my mind telling me I have to have this. This isn't actually my body telling me, oh, you better have some celery juice. So you just start practicing with it, and you get to a point where you start getting better at hearing your body and listening to your body. And this is not intuitive eating. This is different. This is just really, it's really achieving a level of unity with your body that we don't talk about in this community. We talk about all the things you have to do and put in your body and on your body and things to avoid and all of that, but we don't talk about actually becoming one with your body, and really opening up that line of communication with the body. And one of the things that can help is surrendering to prayer. So prayer, and I would say meditation too, prayer and meditation, but prayer specifically came up because, one thing I find really helpful in my journey is when I get curious and I ask questions, I actually ask, what would that look like if, and I see Astrid actually asked, what would that specifically look like? And I ask the question. I just ask it out to the universe, or if you pray to God or the angels, whoever you pray to, right? You can just ask the question, what would that look like? What would that look like for me? And that's what I do, and inevitably I hear an answer. Might not be in that moment. It might come later. It might come through somebody else. It might come through signs and synchronicities. It might, there's lots of ways that the answers can come if you're open to it. But that's something that I've been playing with. And I wanted to tell you too, I'm going to stop for a second with the cards and share with you what prompted this live today was that, we're in some major energy right now. We're leading up to a very powerful full moon, and we are, there's a lot of other astrological stuff going on, and of course the consciousness shift that's always continuing, and it's pretty intense all the time these days. And so we're in some pretty big energy right now, and there's a lot of opportunity to release, and to be able to release the attachment to the belief systems that we may have developed while we were super sick. So if you're still really sick, if you're new to medical medium, you might need to follow all the guidelines, boom, boom, boom right now, and that's okay. That's okay. But when you achieve a certain level of health, those are really the people I'm speaking to right now. If you start becoming miserable and feel burdened by your protocols, this is what I'm talking about. And so what prompted this live today is I saw someone else post who acts as a medical medium practitioner and has a lot of followers, and was talking about suffering, and suffering being a part of the journey, and a necessary part, and just pushing through and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so sad that they believe that, and that's so sad that so many people are following this person and believing this too. And I know that for each of those people, that's their journey. And, they'll come to a realization around that when it's their time. And I did plenty of suffering in my journey, plenty, not just my health journey, but in my life journey. I was really, really addicted to suffering. And I learned that suffering is optional. It is not required. It is a choice. And it can be really addictive. It can be really addictive, but healing can be fun and it can be easy. I know it sounds a little weird, especially if you're really sick, but as you get better, as you start achieving level of health, you can start having fun with it. You can start making more of the recipes because you're healthy enough to do that. You can, start playing around with things. You can get a little more flexibility in your schedule, and, let go of some of the rigidity that you need when you're first starting out. And, I'm so grateful for the way that Anthony presents that in the beginning, because I needed that. I really did need that. I needed to feel like I had some control, and I needed to feel like I had just follow these steps and you'll be fine. You're going to be okay. You're going to heal. And that was so huge for me. And now what's huge for me is, I get to heal and have a life. I get to heal and have fun. I get to heal and have room for expansion, and that's really, really, really made a big difference. other thing that, has made a big difference for me is really surrendering to my soul's path. And this is another card that came up for us today. So, really leaning into your journey, embracing every lesson, every moment, understanding, like I've been talking about, like I needed that rigidity in the past. I don't now, and really coming into acceptance and being okay with that. And also really just loving all of the parts of your journey, and not just, the parts that you like the best, because they're all important in your whole journey and creating who you are as a person. And really about coming into alignment with yourself, which was our last card that I drew, which is surrender to, oops, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Surrender to passion. Here it is. Surrender to passion. And, really surrendering to passion is about, it's about getting out of your head, out of the ideas, out of the programming, surrounding yourself with the people who are leading the kind of life that you want, So then this is so important when you choose a practitioner to work with too, or a coach. Do they have what you want? Are they living the way that you want to live? Because last year, like I was saying, I was attracting clients who were also completely miserable when they tried to do their medical medium journey, and feeling the overwhelm and all of that. And I didn't know how to help them because I was feeling that myself. I was going through that myself, and I couldn't understand how to get out of it at the time. And, make sure that when you're, and I stopped taking clients because I literally got to a point where I was like, I can't with any integrity take any more clients because I don't feel right about this. Like, how am I supposed to convince someone else to do this journey when I am totally hating it right now? Not that I wasn't grateful for it and grateful for the healing. I was, but I knew something had to change, and I needed to get into alignment before I could help anyone else. And so, really surrendering to the passion of what your soul is calling you to do. I was being called to another path at that point, and to expand my consciousness around this. And I did. I took that path. I got some help with that, and I did Mind Shift, and I did Money Mojo, which I've been talking about, the connection, the very close connection between the I'm crossing my fingers, not flipping anyone off, by the way. The connection between really the body and your physical health and money flow, right? They're so tightly connected. So I did all of those things, did the Money Mojo so that I could afford to get the help that I wanted for my expansion of consciousness. And really just hanging out with the people who have what I want, and choosing a mentor who has what I want, who's living in bliss all the time. And that's what I wanted. How do I do that? And she's been through some serious shit in her life, including physical health issues, and also a lot of relationship stuff and just money stuff, everything, right? So, how did she get to be where she is? And I wanted that. And so this is important when you choose someone to work with. Really find someone who has what you want, not someone that you can sympathize with, or who can sympathize with you so much as take you to the next level, take you to a place that you aren't currently at, that you would like to be at. Because the people you surround yourself with are going to play a big role in shaping your experiences going forward. And one of the biggest questions I get all the time is, how long is it going to take me to heal? Well, it's really up to you. It's really up to you, and it's up to you how you want to go about your journey. Do you want to go about it and find the easy path, not the quick fix, pop a pill and you're better kind of thing that doesn't exist, but the easier path is, the more expanded consciousness path. So the perception of how you're experiencing your challenges. So it's not that when you expand your consciousness, you don't have any more challenges in life. It's how you choose to experience those challenges. And you do have less challenges, I would say, for sure. And things that come up are much, much easier to deal with. But you're not without challenges in life, for sure. I still have things happen. But I deal with it so differently now, and I experience it so differently now. And that's the gift of doing the consciousness expansion work. And so I just wanted to come on. I don't know if that resonated with anyone. I think it did. We got some comments here. Thank you for saying this, all of that. And, I'm exhausted thinking about it all, and, all of this stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to reach out to you guys and say there is an easier way, and you can do medical medium, but you don't have to be miserable while you're doing it. So if any of that resonates with you, if you'd like to know more, I'm here. You can reach out to me. I do offer free discovery calls, so we can see how we get along. And if you want to work with me, or if you just have a quick question and you want to DM me, that's fine too, or make a comment here on the video. But I'm really passionate about this. I really believe that the medical medium information works, and I also believe that it's very easy to get caught up in the technical minutia of it, to the point where you can actually make yourself really miserable. And I know that's not Anthony's intention with this. There's just no way. He's, way too compassionate for that. So that's all I wanted to share. And, if you want more information on some of the programs I went through that helped me and supported me in my medical medium journey that I did with Joy Kingsborough, there are links in my bio for Money Mojo, for Mind Shift, for Jonah Live channeling sessions. When you do Mind Shift, you get all of those included and more. But you can, take baby steps and start with 1 or 2 first, and then, move into the bigger ones. And if you have any questions about any of that, please, hit me up. I'm here to help. I love to share my experiences, what's working for me, and, what I've seen work for other people as well, and what's working for my clients too. So I just, again, really passionate about this stuff, obviously. So glad to be here tonight. Thank you guys for joining me and for commenting and sharing your situations too. I'm right here with you, and we'll do this together. We'll find the path that's easy, fun, and really jump into that consciousness expansion so that we can all live a better life, create a world that we want to be in. That is my passion. And if you share that too, then drop me a heart, drop me a comment. Love you guys.